we are potentially seeing the end of the DEI woke parade through Hollywood, at least potentially according to this article from the Hollywood Reporter, with reporting that Pete Docter says the Pixar cut Elio's LGBT themes from the film because we are making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy, which you need to go find yourself a therapist if you're having these kind of issues in your life. That finally someone is waking up in Hollywood and be like, this doesn't sell. No one's buying into this. Only people of the Hollywood elite and mad leftists are really into the film. Not even left-leaning people are enjoying this anymore. Why? Because you're causing conversations to have with children the parents don't want to have. That's not what the point of these films should be. They should be fun, escapism, bring your families together. Unfortunately, you just seem to want to continue to be pushing your message into these films regardless, and finally we're getting a ray of light. On the flip side of that, though, we then have Rachel Zegler coming out and giving her comments of what it was like working with the Snow White and the backlash, how it was a really confusing time, and how she won't conform to anybody's ideology. And you're just sitting here thinking, if you hadn't made the comments that you did, no one would blame you for the film's failure. Everyone would be blaming the director and Disney. But because you came out and made such comments as saying that Free Palestine onto your Disney advertisement, which attached that film to your political beliefs, people then started blaming you, and you just kept on coming out with statements that just made the matter worse. And so when people saw your bad acting in the film, the bad storytelling, how this is not going to be like a story from the past where Snow White's going to be saved by a man. She's going to be a proud, respectful woman that don't need no man, where you're literally having a grim love fairy tale. That's pretty much what it is. It's the prince saving a princess against an evil witch. At the basics of the story, that's what Snow White was. And yet you want to change the entire dynamic around it. And now you're pretty much falling from stardom. Whereas you had Steven Spielberg pick you out of obscurity, put you in a film, and people were wanting to give you roles because they thought you were going to be the next big thing because Steven Spielberg picked you. And unfortunately now you're falling on your face, where you have other actresses of the same age, mind you, Sydney Sweeney, that is using her form to her advantage. Yes, she's been in a lot of failures at films. I will not disagree with that. But you know what people aren't tired of? Seeing Sydney Sweeney and hearing from her, because she doesn't get over political. She's kind of like the girl next door that you just want to invite over and have some drinks with, and well, we'll just leave it at that. Whereas for Rachel Zegler, you're kind of that kid in school that no one really wants to hang around and just, ignore because you've just been super annoying and obnoxious. That's pretty much what she's been like. But I don't entirely blame Rachel Zegler for this, because you have to remember, right now at the Oscars, you really had someone by Charles DeBom, or my apologies, I can't really say his name properly, my apologies there, that said, we want peace, not war, and free Palestine, which is kind of an oxymoron statement. Yes, I completely agree that peace is good, war isn't necessarily the solution to everything, but at the same time, you're saying free Palestine. Palestine would not be in the issue that it is in right now if it wasn't for them launching rockets into Israel. Yes, I know there's a whole situation that goes on between Palestine and Israel, a lot of history there, but the most recent situation right now, the reason why Palestine is in what it is in is because they raided Israel. They got what they had coming to. So you cannot say both things and say that they're equal. They're not. And that's kind of the environment that Rachel Zegler grew up in and was heavily influenced by. Now, I'm not giving her a way out. She grew up in the same generation that I did and as Sydney Sweeney did, that you grew up with social media. You grew up realizing that your words have weight. You grew up realizing that what you say could make you a millionaire or can make you dirt poor in just a matter of moments. And so she's rightfully getting what she deserves. And honestly, I think she needs to be in this area for a little while longer until she realizes what she's doing. But maybe there's some light at the end of the tunnel, especially with this article coming out from Pixar. It seems like at least some people in Hollywood are realizing what they're doing. Is it too late? Hard to say. We do have the strikes coming up for the writers, directors, SAG-AFTRA, the below the line people. So we are seeing some strikes coming up here maybe soon if negotiations with the unions don't work out with AI. I do think Hollywood needs a major shakeup. They need to return to this ideology, but we'll see if they can accept it or not. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think Rachel Zegler should get another chance, or is she just completely blown and just needs to disappear? Do you think Sydney Sweeney, although she's been in a lot of bad films, should continue to get chances to work? Do you think Hollywood will actually be able to pull itself from the stupor of DEI nonsense, or do you think that it's been ingrained in them so long that they have no chance at all? I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are down below. Leave a like if you liked the video, leave a dislike if you did not, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.